Hey kids, welcome to the show. Glad you're with us today. Fred's here with me right now. Fred, how you doing? Fred says he's okay. Copperbeardy's out there. The sound alert didn't come out. Why not? Why? Let's go figure that out before this happens again. Thanks for that applause, Copperbeardy. Let's figure out why the sound alert's not coming out. Let's see what I got here. It's going to be one of these browser sources here. Sound alerts. Could be that one. What's that one right there? And see what happens. Can I get... All right. Why is that like not on the main page? I'm wondering. All right, so cool. I got a sound alerts. We'll stick that right over there, right over in that space, right over there. Today we're going to work on that guy right there. I want to make it a little bit better. I want to work on the UI. I've noticed there's some issues with it when we're writing code. When we're playing the game, where if I hide the scroll and then try to show another page. Once I've hidden the character's scroll, so for example, right now if I click on a page, I'll show that page, like that. But if I hide it by hitting one of the buttons here to close the whole thing down, it's hidden for Fred, and now if I click on one of these, well, I was going to say it's not going to work. Look at that, it seems to not be a bug anymore. There we go. So the first time, weird, I'm clicking, click, 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 click. It goes, click, click, click. Nothing happens. No sound. Click, 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 click. Yeah, it's weird. At any rate, we're not seeing anything. Now to get that to be fixed, we got to make somebody else come in here like that, and then we can go back over to Fred, and now we can switch it once Fred's up. But there's definitely a state bug in here that we want to fix. So there's that. Also notice on Sandra's spell page, her data goes all the way down the end. We never fixed this when we wrote this because we never expected, we did expect it, but we didn't expect to hit it so soon, where somebody would have so many spells. My show, well no, pudding's in, and it didn't give you a... And I was restarting so many things because of the power outage I had just before. Try again. I'm going to close this down. Oh no, it did work. Did I just kill it? Maybe I didn't kill it. Pudding breaking things? Come on, Pudding. So is it working? And Copperbeardy, did we get... Now, Copperbeardy just came in and said something. Something we're going to hear Copperbeardy? If I say like, hello? No. Might be too soon. It needs like just a few seconds afterwards to start the next fanfare. Copperbeardy, that's the first thing Copperbeardy said. So Pudding got it, but it was really late. Uh-oh. Nope, we shut down. I shut it down here. All right, let's restart it. So why was Pudding so late? Too soon, yeah. Copperbeardy's going to get one and Pudding's going to get another one. Oh no. That's what I'm going to say. Let's see if I would type in that. Awesome. Good, so it seems to be connected and working in terms of switching scenes. So that's good. So anyway, that's what I want to work on. I want to work on this thing right here. So we've got that part down there. We've got to break this into two or more pages. That's going to be tricky to do because when I cast a spell, I want to make sure the spell we're going to cast is on the right page, that we're showing it, whatever spell that is we're showing it at. What else? Yeah, it's kind of interesting. So right up here, to the left of the mouse cursor, you've got Bane and Bless. They've got that symbol that has the kind of the level up symbol, the triangles kind of pointing in this direction. Those can be cast at higher levels, but they're not listed over here like in the second level spells. Those are genuinely only the second level spells. So when we cast those, what could happen is we might cast at third level, which means one of the checkboxes here at third level would go like that. Right, you're just seeing the checkbox at third level, but we'd highlight it down at first level or whatever. So it's a compromise I made because I didn't want to have just vast amount of spells showing up at all these different levels. Okay, so that's one of the things we want to work on. The thing I want to work on first, though, is just to the left of the caret here, of the cursor here, is this up and down kind of vertical space. I'm going to draw the health in that space, right in here. This is what we're talking about, this space right here. That's what I want to work on. So let's work on that. First, let's figure out where it is. And it's in this guy right here. So that's what I want to draw in. And I think what it's going to look like is this. Where it's this color for like indicating full health. It's at 100% right there. And then I think as it drops, I'm playing with this idea of changing it to red as it drops. So as this gets way down here, it's going to become like a bright red. Something like that, I think. Let's check it out. Yeah, I think the contrast there is high enough, and it indicates, yeah, somebody's in trouble. So that's kind of what we're talking about there. It's kind of a gradient kind of thing that's going to happen between there and there. I haven't quite figured out yet how to do that. I don't really know. We'll have to figure that out as we get there. But that's the area I want to draw in. So, okay, cool. Let's now figure out where I'm going to draw it. It's going to be somewhere down over in overlays. I've got a couple of ones here. One of them is character stat. Character stat is kind of a small low-level class for drawing the text. That's what's happening here. So you can see an initiative right there. That -1 is being drawn up there. That's a character stat that's doing that. So this is a little too low level. Got a stat page where I'm rendering things. Draw character stats. Active page.render. Okay, and it's just grabbing all of those. I don't have like a bar chart kind of stat yet, but I'm thinking about adding one like right now. So it's just kind of this generic bar chart kind of thing that'll just draw like, you know, anything from here to here, specify 2 different gradients for the 2 different sides. So depending on where it is, it chooses the right color. I've got this add stat piece right here. Yeah, so here's what I'm thinking. So I've got this render up here that goes to the character stats. I'm going to add another kind of stat. Another kind of stat call. And I think it's going to look like this. Stat page.add bar. And we're going to pass in hit points as a string. So it's going to use this property, just like this one here. So by the way this works, we wrote this like, I want to say years ago, a year and a half ago. The way this works is it takes the name of the property you're looking for, finds its value, and then based on these other properties you've given it, it will set the font size, figure out how much space is available for it, and even the font color. Notice the pluses are all in blue and the minuses are all in red. That sort of thing. So there's some shading going on there. I think I do have, somewhere I've got the ability here. So this is an interesting stat I'm adding. This stat right here, notice for wisdom and charisma, right above Fred. Fred, can you point to that for me? Yeah, right up there above Fred. There are circles that are filled in. That's based on this piece right here. Has saving throw, proficiency, strength, saving throw, and what's going on here? We're just passing in still the X and the Y, and the font size. And for some reason it knows how to do it. I think it's because it gets to see, it sees that it's a Boolean, and so it knows it's going to be a checked piece like that is what I think it is. We can go look at that character stat. There it is. Then fill the circle right there. I'm going to throw a to-do in here while we're looking at this. Add support for double and half proficiency bonuses. Proficiency bonuses or mods, maybe. Looks like that. Because right now we just got it as a Boolean. It really needs to be an enum here, I think, because we should have a half circle and kind of a double filled circle for those proficiency mods. Okay. All right, let's go back to adding the code, what I want it to look like. So we're going to say add bar hit points, and do I have we need to have a range that the hit points is going to go between 0 and whatever the max value is. We need to set min value and max value is what we need to do. Min value is 0. Max value is actually another property. And I think it's a property of the character I want to pass in is what I want to do. So I want to back up to this. Initialize scroll is here. No, I'm not going to have that character at this time. I'm going to get the character later. So I'm going to pass in a string here, which is going to be max hit points, which I think I've already got down here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my maximum. I'm going to interrogate two properties. One is the hit points property, and the other one is the max hit points properties to set the max value. And that's my min value. My min value I know is 0. All right, then I need to set its X and Y. So let's go get that. So this is at 182.306. All right, and then what am I going to do? Do the bottom or give its overall height? I think I'm going to give it its bottom position, which is 187.399. All right, there's no font involved, but then we need two colors to pass in as well. This color and then the red. That. And that. All right, that's what the call I want. That's what I want the call to look like. So let's go declare that. Prop name This is going to be a number or a string. And that's going to be min value. And this one's going to be max value. It's also going to be a number or a string. Arg3 is going to be x1. Arg4 is going to be y1. Then we've got x2 and y2. Let's bring these to the next line so we can see them. Karnak is kind of blocking those. X2 and y2. And then we have min color and max color. Which is equal to that. So if min color is an empty string, we'll just set it equal. I mean, max color is an empty string. Then we're going to set it to min color. Okay, I want to make sure I swap the order of the colors here. I kind of did these in reverse. My min color is this. My max color is that. All right, cool. Look at add stat. Okay. So we're going to say add new character stat.push and character stat. I think I'm going to create a class hierarchy here. Just reviewing the code in here. Yeah, I think I am. Call it base stat. Give it a render. Does render return anything? Render does not return anything. I'm going to make this a void. Okay, there's base stat. Character stat's going to extend that. Now, what do we got? We got call super. Change this to base stat. Okay, now we're going to create a descendant of base stat called bar stat. Cool. Can I declare the class from here? Looks like I can. All right. Let's go. get those parameters, pop them in. Just going to make all of these public. Okay, next I'm going to just set, I'm going to just calculate width. Because I think I'm going to need that. Okay. Because I need to render it. And I need some code kind of like this. Because the scroll, whoops, not there, this. Because the scroll, in fact, both of these would be good. Because the scroll can open and close like this, some data needs to be drawn and some data needs to not be drawn, depending on where it is in that state. So we need to check that. So we need something like this. We basically need to say, hey, if this y is less than or equal, so this is the code for deciding whether we draw the number, the letter, the number or not. Yeah, I think I'm going to wait. I think I'm going to do this. I'm going to say, hey, if this dot y1 is less than top data, or this dot y2 is greater than bottom data, then we're going to return. We'll wait until both of those are there before we draw, which is okay, because the background still draws. We're just talking about our additional data on top of it. Again, just as a reminder, the background is this piece right here. That's what's in the background. Okay. Then we want to draw it, is what we want to do. So we need to get a few things here. We need to say, absolute min value, maybe is what I want to call. And I want to say it's this dot get value, and pass in my this dot min value, which is going to be a number or a string, and also pass in the active character, like that. That's what I want to do. And then that's going to always return a number. So what that'll allow us to do is we'll basically check to see if min value is a string, and if it is, then we're going to get the property. So I think it goes like this. I forget how to do this, but is if min value is an instance of string, is that going to work? Yeah, I forget how we check it. What is it, Coding Gorilla? Help me. What is it, Coding Gorilla? Help me out, my friend. It's something here. You just giving me a nope. Something. I forget how to do this. Or maybe I don't need to do anything at all. No, I get to find out if it's a string. Probably want to do if type of. Okay. That would have taken a while. That would have been a me looking something up kind of a thing. If type of min value equals string. Sweet. That's what I want to do. Oh, you know what? I think I actually, look at that. Oh, we did this. Type of space value equals Boolean. I wonder if I just don't need that, like that. I don't think I need the parens in it. Because yeah, I had this right here, type of value equals Boolean. Okay, so if the type of it is there, now somewhere down here I've got it, and I think I'm just grabbing, where's my get value? I've already got the value here. There it is, get prop value in active character. Nice, okay, cool. So I'm just gonna call active character.get prop value. But I'm expecting this to only be a number. Can I do that, or is it going to have to be typecast? It's going to be okay? No. What's the red problem? I think the red problem is the problem I need to worry about. I think it goes away if I do that. Okay, and then I want to say return plus value to give it back as a number. Otherwise, I'm going to say return min value a plus here as well. I think just to enforce that it's coming back as a number. And I think that's my get value. I want to rename this. Just maybe value, no. Property value, something like that. I think that's what I want to do. Parentheses are optional, both ways works. Okay, cool. All right. Okay, so I've got my absolute min value there. Then I'm going to have my absolute max value here, which is going to grab max value. If it's a string, you could use parse int to convert it. I thought this is this is like, I think, my preferred way. Are there any problems you know of to turn a string into a number? This is like my preferred way because it's so simple, easy to read. Excuse me. All right. So now I've figured out my absolute min value, my absolute max value, which is cool because now for each character it'll depend on who that active character is. Now I need to, I think, start drawing a rectangle. Context dot fill. Do I have a fill rect? It's been a while, and I need an X, a Y, height, and width, like that. We also need to figure out the fill style. Let's do this. Let's set the fill style equal to the, just flat out will, or maybe not, maybe not. Let's back up a bit. I want to get the value of the, yeah, I can call this with the string property name. So I'm going to do this. I'm just going to come down here and I'm going to say, oops. And I'm going to call this the property value, like that. And I'm going to pass in this dot prop name, like that. And that'll give me my property value, what that is. So the total distance, that's going to be equal to absolute max value minus absolute min value. Like that. Percent complete is equal to property value divided by total distance. Well, no, it's not. It's property value minus my absolute min value. divided by total distance. Pretty sure that's right. Okay, so there's my percent complete. This is a number between 0 and 1. I want to use percent complete to get my fill style. Like that. Ah, come on. Pass in percent complete. Somewhere in here, gosh, I hope I have some color blending code somewhere in here. I'm not sure if I do or not. Let me take this, move this up a little higher. Okay. That's not what I want. I just want a string. Okay. I think I'm going to need hue satellite for these min color and max color pieces. So min HSL is equal to hue satellite. Do I have a from hex? There I do. Pass in min color. Okay, let's declare that. Good, good, good. Let's declare that. Okay. Now, do I have a blend on HSL? That's what I don't know if I do or not. I don't. All right, let's make one. Let's put a caching piece in here too. And we'll say that's equal to percent complete. Turn this. That last fill style. At some point, we're going to say last fill style is equal to fill style. We're going to get there. That's going to be a string. That. And then we're going to return fill style. I'm going to make this a static method. So we're going to blend this .min HSL and this .max HSL by the percent complete. That's what we're going to do. And we're going to get that back, and then we're going to say fill style is equal to HSL dot, do I have a 2 hex? Oops, I need a let there in front of that. Maybe a const. 2 hex, like that. Okay, now I just got to go declare blend. You wanted me to be make this a const? All right, fine. All right, let's go figure out how to blend two HSL colors. Come on, you can get me there. Come on, Visual Studio. CodeRush did it. I'm taunting. Okay. Tab to next reference work, but drill into jump to member didn't work. Okay. So we've got, we're going to call this HSL1. This one's going to be HSL2. And then some sort of percent to blend. All right, since we're going to call this percent, I'm expecting a number between 0 and 100. Okay, so we need to create a new uset light.
Good afternoon, Mr.
Good evening, Mr. Becker.
How you doing, Mark? Everything good?
Yeah, I think so.
Wow. Really on his game today.
I think Pudding made me say, it's my hero. You can just roll up and send that one again, Pudding, if you want. There you go. Wait, my hero, your hero, everyone's hero. All right.
Roy looks behind him for a hero.
Feels true. Okay, so I want to create a new HSL. Kind of got to figure out the amounts to blend. Uh-oh. It's a beautiful plant. I went to acting school to be able to do this, kids. I'm looking at my stream deck and a paper towel on the counter, on the desk. There's no plant in front of me. All right, behind the scenes. Okay, here we go. I think we're going to say, well, you know what I want to do? I want to create some constants before I get here. I'm blending two HSL colors together is what I'm doing.
Cool.
I want to draw this right here. I want to draw this bar. And I want it to be kind of this color brown at the top, but when it gets down around here, I want it to be like you know, that as it gets down here.
Right, so you've got this hypothetical gradient between two colors, and depending on the value, you want to be at a different point along that gradient scale.
That's what I'm talking about. That's exactly what I'm talking about. All right, so what we need to do is we need some numbers here. So we're going to say hue, and hue is equal to HSL1 dot hue plus, I think I'm doing this right in my head, HSL2 dot hue minus HSL1 dot hue times, I really don't want to pass in times 100 here. It's just a mess if I do that. Percent complete, percent to blend. Wish I had a way to document that here, like an XML doc comment. Okay, so it's the distance. Whoops, I get that. Yeah, no, yeah. It's the, so consider this the max, the larger value. The larger minus the smallest times the percent. Is that right or no? Do I add to this or not? I do. Yeah. So I take the delta between the two, I multiply it by the percent to blend, and I add it to the small one. Is what I do. And if these are reversed, that one is bigger than the other or one is smaller than the other, this should be a negative number and it should still work. It should still work. So let's say this was 100, SLS1 was at 100, or at 100 and this one was at 0, that's a -1 times percent to blend. If we're at 100%, this goes but down to 0.
So if we imagine a value where one of them's 75 and one of them's 100, that's your lower limit and your upper limit. So we want to go, the whole of the range is effectively 25.
Right.
Okay. And then we want a percentage of that added to the lower limit.
Yeah.
So that sounds good.
Yeah. I'm feeling good. Not bad for, an old guy. All right. So now let's come down here, change this to saturation, and oops, it was not that. Let's do it again and say saturation like that. I want to try something. Good. Okay. Just checking CodeRush. Make sure it's doing the right thing. Okay, so there's saturation. And then let's do lightness. And I think that's really, it's light, isn't it? Light. Like that. Okay. So hue, saturation, light. Then we're going to come in here. Create a new one.
Build a new one from those components.
Yeah, and that should totally work based on everything I know about the world. Hue, saturation, and light. And then we're going to return it. So I'm just going to come in and just do that instead. Okay, there's my return. So now we've got a static method called blend. Takes in a percent, 2 different HSLs, and how far we're going to go from one to the other. And I think it's going to work. By the way, after doing the Kids Code show with my son Campbell, afterwards I asked, what do you think about any suggestions? And he said, yeah, let's not write code for so long before we test. And I said, oh yeah.
I like his instincts. It's good.
Do you know that when I was younger and insane, I once wrote code without a build for 3 weeks?
That sounds
disastrous.
Worrying.
Yeah,
worrying.
Doesn't it? Campbell's the true MVP of Kids Code, says Pudding. What do you want to say?
I hear tell that there was a method of coding long before my time where one would use punch cards and physically construct effectively code. So this was, just imagine taking a hole punch and sticking it in a big wad of cardboard, for example. And this led to extreme sort of not overthinking, but certainly consideration of whether what you had written was correct, because you would take this stack of cards ultimately down to the machine, which was in a different room, and you would run it. So effectively the compile time cycle, effectively the runtime cycle, was so long. If you got to that, you got a syntax error in what you'd done, you had just cost yourself hours whilst you went to go and do it again. So, you'd be really, really, really careful.
Yeah, the UI was so bad that the users of that UI would yell at students later on in life who didn't have to experience it. And they yelled about how the punch cards were so bad. Right?
It just sounds like kind of a living hell by comparison with the luxury we have these days.
Right. No, it's good. Okay, so here we go. Here's my code. What I'm doing here is I'm building this barstat class. So I'm kind of doing the same thing. I'm coding for 3 weeks. I haven't, compiled it yet, but I've written barstat. I've written get fill style right here. I've written render, and we're kind of almost ready to draw the rectangle. So we need to figure out the X, Y, and Z. So
the nice thing about what you've done so far is that it is at least done in sort of small pieces, which you've presumably been able to reason about fairly well as you've gone along. These nice little smaller broken down abstractions. So whilst you haven't compiled per se, run per se, each piece is small in its need for consideration as you go. So your chances of it working are not too bad.
Right. I've also adopted what I understand was innovated by Japanese coders years back, which is this kind of extreme scrutiny on everything I'm writing, right, to make sure it's really, really going to work. Because overall, I find that pays off in terms of time spent to nail it. So that's kind of what I think is, I'm doing that as well. So I've got small methods, extreme scrutiny, looking at it carefully, trying to stay present in my mind, stay focused, using all these techniques to get there. Okay, so at this point, we've got a render call. We've got data that's filled out above here. This is some of our properties here. We've acquired the data from that. We believe this is right, so we now have an absolute min value and absolute max value. And this word absolute, don't get thrown by this, but I just already had a property called min value here. Although it's occurred to me now, I can just rename this to local. I just call this min value for simplicity because it's local. It's not going to be confused with this. And there's max value. And we're going to call this value like this. So now we've got our percent complete. We got our fill style. And get fill style, I just wrote that before you came in, but basically is checking to see, hey, is my percent complete the same as the last time we calculated this?
Sure.
If it is,
return
return
ourselves
last.
a bit of time.
Fill style, right, like that. I'm going to set this to -1 just to be sure that there's no way we'll accidentally get to a 0 and use this, which is going to have nothing in it. Okay, and then we just cache that out, store it there, and we call the blend feature we just wrote. We call 2hex on it, set that to the last fill style, and return the fill style.
Cool.
Could do this, save a variable, you know, by doing that and doing that. Make sense? It's important, I think, to conserve variables just for, you know, global warming issues. The more variables, the more code. Look, you're snorting over there, Rory, but I'm telling you.
I think you can make an interesting argument along the lines of by having less variables, there's less to consider, less overheating of the brain, and thus less heat in the atmosphere.
Absolutely.
Similar logic.
But the variables also occupy space on disk, and some level of global warming is going to occur for data storage. Right?
Sure. Okay. We'll go with that.
Yeah, we'll go with that. It's small, probably. But yeah, it's also why I use lowercase letters, because the uppercase letters are so big on disk. I swear, that may not be right. Coding Gorilla says, I swear Twitch crashes every so often on purpose so they can show me more ads. I'm sorry about that. Okay, so now we're finally down to here. So we need to kind of figure out the logic of this. I think I'm going to switch over to my favorite specking app right here. And I just want to write some numbers down. We're going to say our max value is here. It's right there. And our min value, I want that to be lowercase. Min value is there. And my property value, let's make this fill something like that. Let's get another one of these. Let's turn off shape outlining. Okay, and then my property value is going to be like somewhere in this space here. Don't forget to control drag that. So prop value,
failed there as well.
What'd you say?
You moved your max value rather than copying it.
Oh jeez, what's going on in my brain, kids? Yeah, when I do things like that, I'm like, uh-oh, check the code. Okay.
This is a pretty good representation, yeah.
And then the thing is, the reason I did this is because we're going to draw from the bottom up. Right here is what we're going to do. So this is going to be equal to, this is our, you know, our bar height, maybe, I guess is what we'll call it.
Yeah.
So the Y position here for the bar height, the Y top, whatever you want to call this, Y is equal to essentially
prop value, I guess. Well, prop value minus min value.
Well, let's go. Hold on though, because we got other things.
Depends, doesn't it?
It's Y2. See it? It's y2 is the bottom of this thing. So this is equal to y2 minus bar height. That's y right there. Let's throw this over here. Flip that. So we've got a y there. My bar height, I need that. My x width, I'll have that already. I know my x. And my x, both my x's. So the main thing is I just need the y there. And my y2 is down here. That's simply just y2. Okay, does that make sense, Roy? The y2, when I specify this thing, here, I'll show you. There's y2. This is y1. I'm kind of correlating two different things here. There's a prop value kind of thing. The prop value is going to ultimately determine, this is going to get me a % complete, and the % complete is going to get me bar height. Is what
something there feels a bit weird, because if y2 is the value at the bottom, equivalent effectively to min value, how can y be that minus something?
It's not equivalent to it. These over here, yeah, this is the thing that's a little tricky about this. I'm so glad you're here. So this is in my screen coordinates right here. Okay? The piece on the left is in, who knows what coordinates. Does that make sense? So
the piece on the left is kind of abstract facts, whereas you want physical screen space.
Yeah.
So when you say y, you mean how far up the screen this will be positioned?
Yes. These are screen coordinates on this side over here. Screen coordinates pixels. This is kind of what we're dealing with on this side. Okay, makes sense? Pixels.
Yes.
Are here. Let's make this a little, do that.
So we've got an XY origin of the upper left.
Yeah.
Generally.
Yeah, that's.
So that makes sense. So our Y for positioning is Y2, point around there, minus going back up the screen, the bar height.
Yes. Yes. Does that make sense now?
Cool.
Kind of what I'm saying. So there's X1, and then X2 is right here, like that. So X1 and X2 are there and there. Mm-hmm. And then I think I've got all the 4 coordinates on the screen. Let's make this a little smaller. Pop that right there and right there. And do that. How does that look? I think that's fair. Let's do one other thing. I want to actually put this in the code. So I've got this reminder to myself. So if I ever have to come back. All right, so that's what I want. I'm going to select all of that, copy that to clipboard, come over here, and it's right about here that I need it. I don't like that. I've seen this before, and the workaround is to go to Microsoft Paint, paste it there first, and then cut it, and bring it back over here. There you go. That's better. Okay. So that's what I'm working with. Well, look, hold on. We've got just a little extra edge here on the side. I could crop that here, but what I can do to get rid of that is come over here. Here it's coming. See what's coming from? Bar height.
Sure.
Sticking outside the edge. Let's do that. One more time. Copy, paste, cut, and paste. Better. All right, let's drop it down a bit so we can see what we're working with. Okay, so we need a bar height, and that's going to be equal to % complete times this dot height. We set the height up at the very beginning inside of our constructor right here. Yes. So the constructor takes x1, y1, and x2 and y2. And then we got those. You know what I want to do? I want to make every single one of these that's in pixels, screen coordinates or pixels, I want to make them red. Oops, not what I wanted. I wanted shape fill, red, like that.
Mm-hmm. Helps to distinguish them from the built-in values.
And maybe do the same for both of these. Like that. Let's change the color of this so it doesn't seem to connect with these blues. I don't like that at all. Purple. Sweet. Okay. So one more time. Now I'm going to take this. Put this in. I'm hitting Control X. Not. Did I end up killing it? Yeah. Okay, so the bar height is equal to percent complete times this height. We have that. My Y is going to be equal to, here's that issue we saw before, where it kind of jumps a little bit. I talked to the devs about this. They said, they essentially came back with, it's not our fault. Visual Studio is doing something screwy in here.
Okay.
If it happens again, I'm going to report it though and say it is your fault. Okay, so this is going to be equal to Y2 minus bar height. And what else? The X is going to be this dot X1. The Y is going to be the Y. The width is going to be this dot. Okay, there it is. Okay, devs, roll back just a little bit and watch what's happening. This is moving around while oh, I hit the wrong button. Hold on. That's the button I wanted to hit right there. All right, devs, roll back about 30 seconds. Take a look at this. I'm typing something in. I think I'm typing in some stuff. Yeah, look at that. This is the bug I talked to you about before. I think you guys looked at it and you said, not our fault. And my response now is, okay, I'm starting to not care if it's your fault or not, but I want to get this fixed. This should not be jumping around like this at all at this point. This should be solid. Right, as I make changes here, we should not see that suddenly disappear. All right, so this dot width is here, and the height is going to be bar height. Anyway, that's the bug right there. As I'm editing and making changes, I'm just going to do this for a bit. This seems pretty good. It does seem like it's happening less than before, but what if I do it here? Let's try getting up IntelliSense. Yeah, it seems like it's okay. All right, so let me just close up that issue. Shoot, I gotta go do it in an editor, like here. Okay, yeah, that happened again. Issue embedded images. And it only seems to be happening in JavaScript, or in TypeScript, JavaScript maybe?
Yeah, that's interesting.
Disappearing and showing as I type text. There it is right there. It just went. What's going on, guys? Yeah, there it goes away. Yeah, I think what's happening is, I think what's happening is, as I recall, the JavaScript parser, is that true? No, because it's not true. I'm trying to understand the explanation for this, but my feeling is that when there, as I recall, there was something that Visual Studio was providing that it stopped providing with the comment that you know we needed to know for sure. Okay, so there's my fill rect right there. I got my fill style.
Yep.
Am I done? I feel like I'm done.
That's a decent possibility, yeah.
All right, so that's in the back overlay. So let's refresh this.
And we are calling this, right?
Nope. Nope, I forgot that part.
Okay. Small technical hitch.
Oops. Yeah. Hold on, let's go fix that. So are we calling it? So yeah, we built everything, but let's look at our new call. Here's the new call. Bar said, oh yeah, you know what we are. Because of the architecture, it goes into all stats. And all stats goes through each one and calls render. And render's coming into base stat here. So it's a bar stat, which is descendant of it. So yeah, it should work. So we've refreshed it. Let's go to app and let's click on somebody to show their stuff. Oh, look at that! To the left of the mouse, see that? That looks like it's totally working. I'm excited about that. You see that?
I don't know what the two numbers are supposed to be, or the two colors are supposed to be. So
the gray means solid health, essentially. So it's not high
fair
contrast.
enough. Yes.
Okay. So now let's go in and start destroying me. Let's take some damage off of me here. Oh, look at that! Holy cow, Rory!
Cool.
Holy cow! Look at that!
Is it changing color?
Yes, that's what I said. It's you can't tell because it's Rory's kind of red black colorblind. It's totally changing color. It looks awesome. It's looking awesome. And then I'm dead. Holy cow! Okay, so that was it, kids. Extreme focus. No bugs.
No bugs. 100% success.
Let's add Helston back in. Too much sound. The sound's gonna overlap me. Yeah, that totally worked. That's super cool. Let's take some health over here from Sandra. She's got 84. Let's take half of it. 42. Sandra, health 42. Damage. Yeah, it goes right down to the middle. I love that. That's awesome. The only thing I'm wondering about is, as we get maybe really close, do we want to do something else to indicate we got a problem?
What, as you get kind of 10% of your health is left? Warning, be careful.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm wondering. I guess not. I guess we're okay. It's okay. It's okay for the way it is right now. So that's not bad. Okay. I got to be ready when things work, Rory, to be able to now immediately go to the next thing.
It's not a thing you're used to, no?
No. It's not. I'm just so excited about it. Yeah. The color change is really nice. I apologize. I don't mean to be I can see color.
It's fine. I can see the height reducing. It's cool.
Yeah, the height reducing is very cool too. Okay.
I think the important thing in all these things is to give a few different things that change and not rely on just one.
Yes, no, I agree.
And that way, you're going to get people who are able to see some things, experience others, and yeah, you cover a few bases.
I think I'm going to make the width of this wider by 1 pixel. There's my one change I'm going to do. What'd you say, Rory?
I like that, yeah.
So let's do that. Let's go look at when we create that bar.
That's the X1 and Y1, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Although, is it also...
It's X2. It's X2. What'd you say?
You're not going to change the background. The background's going to stay the same, but you're going to occupy slightly more of it by an increase to X2.
Yeah, I just changed this right here to 188 is what I did. There we go. There's a tweak. There's a customized trademark Mark Miller tweak right there. Better. Yeah, that's perfect. Perfectly centered.
And it also fixes an issue. Coding Gorilla says the bar seemed to be a little off its center in its container. I think that's correct.
Yeah.
It's more substantial now, more, should we say, professionally positioned.
Yeah, not like that previous crap I was writing a few minutes ago. All right, so let's do some damage for
Code
Cutie.
was good. It was just some numerical inaccuracy. That's all.
Take 12 off for Cutie. She goes down to 3/4. Take another 12 for Cutie. She's going to 24. Another 12. Okay, and one more. I kind of feel like I need a dead marker on the face, a little cross off right here.
Yeah.
But let's get 1 health. Yeah. Yeah, I'm kind of thinking, I'm wondering, does the container itself change color a little bit as it goes down and get in bad shape? I don't know. Because the worse things are, the more you want to kind of know about it, I guess. Yeah. Or should I set it up so that if your hit points are fewer than 20, it starts going to red, showing in red.
So, interesting question. Are you talking about the health points or the background of Little Cutie's portrait at that point?
Well, two things. When I'm talking about the red X, I was not talking about the background. I was talking about the bar. But the problem with changing the color there is now you want to make sure it doesn't look solid. So you got to keep it light and kind of, it's got to be very clear what's happening. And I'm a little hesitant because I'm not sure I can get there. I was also thinking about changing the color of the number 1 there that says hit points, changing that if we were started getting into, a danger zone.
Could do.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about it. Okay, so that's one of the things on my list. The next thing I want to do is I want to set up some buttons on the Stream Deck so I can change to the different pages. Because right now, to change the pages, I have to click this right here.
That's right. Our old interface relied very much on WPF app and interactions with it, and you're going down a route of trying to just make things nice and easy with the big buttons on the Stream Deck.
Yeah. By the way, notice to the right of the load indicator right up here, I've got another space for a bar chart right there. See that? That's going to give you a sense of your overall load versus where your max is. And in Dungeons and Dragons, you've got something called like being overly encumbered or something like that. Yeah. And it can actually go higher than 100%. So that's something to think about.
Does that impact your speed, your ability to move?
Yes, it does. It totally does. I'm just noticing on this page, I've got a problem right up here. See that right there? Look at that weird kind of...
It's kind of hidden on my Skype, even with the full screen.
Oh,
but
it is? Okay.
Yeah,
well,
I could probably switch just to the...
Hold on, let me see if I can't really zoom it in.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I see it now.
See it. Okay, you saw it? Yeah, so there's something...
There's a little blurring from the scroll or something.
Yeah. Is that on every page? It is. Interesting. I'll have to figure that out. Okay. I'm not too worried about that now. I think the next thing I want to do is work on this page. Notice on the spell page at the bottom, right behind Fred. I can't get rid of Fred in a great way that I know of here. Wait, I might be able to actually. Oh, I lost my music here. Let's go look at Fred. I think I can get rid of Fred. Maybe I can't. I'm going to, maybe I can. I can't switch away because that's going to mess everything up. But if I were to add a color correction and come in here and change opacity, there we go. I can get rid of Fred like that. Okay.
Ghostly Fred.
Yeah, so you can see there, Roy, at the bottom where the 5th level spells start, Cloud Kill.
Oh, yeah, it's overloading the actual, well, what would you call it, the handle of the scroll, rather than sitting behind it and being hidden.
Right, and if there's more, it's just going to keep drawing.
Yeah.
So I think I want to look at that. That's going to be on my list next.
If you find a way to hide that, does that mean we're going to find a way to scroll the scroll?
No. What we're going to do is switch from this page to a second page of it. So, all right, we're gonna do that and close. Bring me back. All right, you're back. Fred's back. You feeling okay, Fred?
A little lightheaded.
Not sure. Okay. Should we do the next thing, Fred? Okay. Fred says we're gonna do this. So we need to figure that out. But before I do that, I want to get into Stream Deck, and I want to add some pages to control over here in UI. I want to add some new buttons here. The buttons are going to be kind of similar to these, so I'll just start down and copy for now. Get a different picture. So that's going to be equipment. There. This one's going to be the main. And then we have skills. right there. And so skills, equipment, and then spells. And so what I'm imagining is you hit spells once, it goes to the first page, hit it again. If there's extra ones, it'll keep going.
Okay.
That's what
so next page matching this name.
Yeah.
Or this concept or whatever.
Yeah, so make that nice and big spells there. Make this one nice and big so it fits. So the text is easy to read by the Dungeon Master. And I think we're going to need to add some, close this down, get into our D&D app, and we're jumping over to C# here for just a second. And we need to add some new Stream Deck commands. Just going to grab one of these. Let's do that. Duplicate that, and we're going to call this the scroll page command. Like that. And I'm not sure what we're going to do here. I guess we're going to do this. And we're going to say, do we have anything already? We don't. So we're just going to call method, maybe call it change scroll page. And in our architecture, we need to explicitly register Stream Deck commands. So tab to next reference here, there's the registration code, duplicate it, and paste in our scroll page command right there. Okay. Move this to its own file. What do we want this thing to match here? Scroll page space, followed by, I think, some sort of command word here. That's going to be, I think that. And then we're going to say, maybe not this, maybe have this word be page. And let's disengage caps lock. Like that. There's none of this, and this should be group 1. If my calculations are correct. Now we're going to, I don't think I want to make it this. Get rid of page, and we'll do that. Okay, and then we're going to declare that. And then we're going to continue to declare it. Oh no, we don't have to because it's already done that. So now we're here. Here's where we need to actually do something with that. What do I have with the word page in it? An inordinate amount of things. Page changed event. Page changed. Page changed. So I feel like I need something a little bit like this. I'm just going to so I need to get the active character sheets.
It feels like the place that you took that code from is already responding to an event of some kind, effectively by a click of sorts, and is responding by changing the page, right? Inside of its event. So that's where you stole the code from. Should we not be creating a change page which this new method and that old method now call? We effectively extract the code out.
So that this event triggers is what you're
well, so we don't have the phrase hubtastic base station player data changed twice. It should be in like one place.
Yes. Everybody listen up. Roy's tolerance for my crap is it's done. He's done with it.
I don't want you to have to write more code or maintain more code than is necessary.
He's done with it. Hey, did you see the video? The link to the edited video I sent you?
I have not followed the link yet.
No, it's good.
I must admit.
You're a star, Rory. keeping the code dry. Who does that? What are you talking about, Coding Gorilla?
Don't repeat yourself. Dry.
Oh, dry. D-R-Y. Okay, got it. Yeah, I know. I'm just like, all right. So we gotta.
Thing is, I'm not sure where that code should sensibly sit. Is the only problem.
Yeah, I think that there is. Okay, so we need to figure that out. How do we simulate a mouse click kind of thing? The other thing, I think there's a change page piece somewhere in here. Change scroll page. That's what I'm going to call. I'm going to call this.
Yeah.
I actually want it to be independent of the UI. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to say, ooh, it's got one that just takes the scroll page. Oh, no, wait, that's mine that I'm in. Oh, geez. I hate it when that happens. Oh, look at this. Someone's already thought about what I want to do, and it is me.
Uh-huh.
It should be like, this is you, dummy, is what it should say to me here. Okay, so we need player ID. So I got active player ID.
There should be something in the UI to warn you you're about to recurse into yourself.
Yeah.
In case you didn't know you were going to do that.
Yeah. So I'm going to call like dutils.to scroll page, I think, like that. And pass in the string. Let's clear that. What is happening? Shoot, scroll pages in D&D UI. That's not good. Let's go find it. We're taking it out. That is not going to stay in D&D UI. D&D UI should have a dependency on the core. It does. So we're going to go find scroll page. Sorry about that. Let me just show you that. What I was. D&D UI has a dependency on the core right there. Thanks, Coding Gorilla, for that close. And so we're going to take scroll page right there, and we're going to drag it up to D&D core. And it got here. Let's pop it up into enums. And this is going to be D&D core. Got it. Okay. Good. Scroll page. Now let's get back to where we were. Okay, to scroll page. Somewhere up here, I've got some code. There it is. This get element method, which is this really nice kind of thing that looks for matching pieces.
Mm-hmm.
And let's just drill inside there. So we trim the element. We replace spaces with nothing at all. Is there anything else we need to do? We say true to ignore case in the enum try parse call. So it's cool. It can take something that's like, larger or that might have spaces in it and can kind of come back with the element. So let's just look at these. De-emphasis main. Okay, so we don't need that. Just main skills, equipment, and spells. So that means our scroll page command. Let me make this show scroll page. Like that. Now it's going to look like this here. So this is going to be this and the word main.
Okay.
And this and the word
I'm
skills.
still a little fuzzy on how you said you were going to deal, or is this maybe not happening just yet, with the skills that sort of shot off the bottom of the skills page, i.e. that there would be a second skills page.
No, I'm not going to do that. It's going to be spells, and I'm going to send the same command, and then down below, in TypeScript, I'm going to figure out how many pages there are and what we need to do.
Okay.
That's what I'm going to do. All right, so equipment is next. That's there. And then finally, we have spells at the end, just making sure that I'm using the same text here. Okay. Cool. Spells has got the wrong image on it. There we go. Okay. So I think, are we done? I think we might be done. Let's roll that. Got some breakpoints. I almost think, what is my day gonna be lucky like before, Rory? Or should just disable all my breakpoints and just assume that we're writing great code? Oh, I didn't even get a compile. Oh. I thought I moved it. D&D UI, I bet, did not.
Did we copy instead and not change the namespace?
It's still over here. I think I moved it, but you know. All right, let's run it now. We good with this error? Is this going away? Yeah, it looks like it's going away. So it's dark over there right now, Rory?
No, I have. Well, I won't say broad daylight. It's the sky's there. It's just not particularly blue and sunny and shiny.
Okay. All right. Cool. Let's see. We want to go. You know what I think? I'm thinking now. I'm going to change it to blue. The down the middle instead of the brown color.
Okay.
Because blue does indicate health as we're on here, and that'll be a nice graduated change. All right, let's go fix that. So I want to get. Let me take a screenshot of this, the live stream. And let's pop it in here, and let's go get with that color. I want that blue right there. Yeah, it's kind of a nice medium saturation here. I like it. Well, I say medium, actually, it's pretty high, but it's just kind of a darker. But okay, so we're going to make that be our min color, and this is our max color. Like that. Let's refresh. All right, let's bring a page up.
That stands out.
Cool. I like it. Let's do some damage and watch it change color as it goes down. You can see blue, right, Rory?
That was a violent change of color, yeah.
It's going to green. Not what I expected. I did not expect it going to green and then yellow.
Oh.
That's not good at all. It's going the wrong way.
Interesting.
Now I'm disappointed. My blend doesn't work well. The reason why, Rory,
Yeah.
is because of, I'm pretty sure it's because of hue. Yeah, I'm going from blue on the right to hue over here, so it's got to travel through green instead of going around the other way. It's cheaper.
Sure.
It's cheaper to go around the other way, right? The distance is less to travel.
Yeah.
I need to figure out which distance is the shortest to do it, to have it travel. I'm so focused on this, I don't even want to test my buttons, but let's test the buttons real quickly, actually, before I get out of here. Let's see, bring up the stream deck so you can see the buttons I'm looking at. I'm looking at these. Let's hit skills. Let's hit equipment. Nice. Let's hit spells. Sweet. All right, cool.
Good.
And main. Cool. So the Dungeon Master now has control. Want to go see Merkin spells? Just hit the Merkin and then the spells button. Nice. Okay,
Very
good.
nice.
Dungeon Master's going to like this page, I think. Okay. Let's figure out that color shifting problem there. Back on, it's on the main page. I also noticed.
Yeah, so you're trying to figure out the minimal distance between the 2 points.
Yep. Between basically a number that I think goes from 0 to 1, but if it's closer to 1, I want it to travel the other direction.
Yes,
to the right.
you would need a negative direction.
I want it to loop around the other way.
So if less than halfway between.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so let's go look at our blend. The problem is here. Now, another way around this, though, is to change to RGB, I think.
Genesis 7, where are you?
Is that true?
We need your help. Alright.
Genesco 7's here, kids. Coming in as usual in his understated way.
That guy's so subtle.
White House.
Yoda's trying to get the spotlight, man.
Welcome, Genesco 7.
All right, sorry, I'm like...
Point Rory and point Mark.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So here's my problem right here. So in the past I've written blend code that blends RGBs, and I've never seen this problem in RGB. But I'm just now thinking mathematically, was there a reason for that, or did I just get really lucky?
Well, I mean, I picture the hue, saturation, and light, or the hue at least, as being sort of a band, but it's a loop, right? So you can go off the end and come back on the other way. And as you say, it's about what the shortest distance is. If you're going RGB, you either have all the red, green, and blue, or none of it. You never go negative on any of them. So
yeah, there's no hue shift.
So there's no looping.
So RGB, this you don't have to do what we're about to do for RGB. But basically, it kind of, this is what I think the code is going to look like. Let's see. Let's do this.
It's going to pick some interesting colors, isn't it? Because if you had 100% red, I don't know, 50% blue and whatever else, what you're going to do is you're going to shift each of them independently from their start point to their end point using a percentage of it's. I don't know, what's the visual effect of that? It's a very easy mathematical thing, but does it create the visual that you want?
Yeah, so over here is red and down here is blue, and what we're doing is going around like this.
Yes,
that's what we're doing. But
that's our current strategy.
What I kind of wanted to do is go this way from here to here, and to do that, the problem is that this is 0 and this is 1 right here. So I start at 0, I go all the way around, and I'm back to 1. And so if I want to go from here to here, I got to go chunka, 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 chunka all the way around this way. When what I really want to do is essentially, I don't know.
Yeah, but then you're in a weird position of saying that 1 is the min and 0 is the max.
Yeah, I think maybe I do switch it to RGB.
Yeah.
I think that's maybe what I do is I go to RGB. Yeah, I think I got to do it to RGB to make this work.
And so now my sort of picture of how this works is that you've got, I mean, it's still 3 components, right? But they are just straight up bars of 0 through 100%, right? Or through 255 quantity. And if you wanted to go from, I guess, black to white, right? It would be nice and smooth, right? It would go through several colors to get there.
Yep.
But depending on the 2 colors that you pick, you get a different degree of smooth.
Okay. Yeah, I would agree with that.
Because if you go from 100% red to 100% blue, you are, each of those 2 aspects will go up and meet at some point in the middle and then pass each other going the other way. So you're going to get this interesting mix of color as you go. But if you want to go from, I don't know, orange to red, those 2 colors are closer to each other and thus will not have as many gradients between them. So it'll be a more subtle journey.
This, what you want to go backwards? Percent to blend? Yeah, kind of. Okay, so we're gonna do this, and we're gonna do that, and then we're gonna say my end result. We're gonna just add those numbers and divide them by. So we're gonna do, I guess, whoops, qn for constant This is going to be red. That's going to be equal to R1 plus R2 minus R1 times percent to blend.
So it's the same mathematics again, just operating on different values this time.
Yeah. That's red, green. And
Only the mathematics suits this because there is no wraparound facility, and since we weren't accounting for one before, there you go.
Yeah. And then blue. Okay, we've got red, green, and blue. Then we're going to come down and do return HueSat light. I think I've got a from RGB call in here. Sweet.
Nice.
And then we're going to pass in red, green, and blue.
Okay, so we've messed with the internals, basically. We're still going from the same value to the same value, but it's a slightly different journey in getting there.
Yeah, let's see if it works. I'm almost anticipating that it's just going to be a not at all. Well, we got black.
Okay, we have black, which is not the same start point at all. How did we achieve that?
I don't know.
Is this the extraction from the 2 RGB? That's what when it goes 2 RGB. What is that?
Yeah, it's black all the way around. Is what's happening. Would you ask if it's 2 RGB?
Well, in the first line, the 2 RGB gives what kind of a type?
This number.
Oh, it really does work just like that. Okay.
Red, green, and blue. So, so red, green, and blue. That's what I've got here. Red 1 plus R2 minus.
Well, we know we've got a pretty high blue. It's not 100% blue, but it's close to what we start with. So you kind of expect 0, 0. Is it 0 to 255? Is the
I guess my contention is it should not matter.
Well, no, I'm just trying to work through a single example is all.
No, I
so
get,
that B1
I get you. Yeah, you can say
high.
0 to 255 if you want. But my contention is the range doesn't matter because I'm feeding it right back in to from RGB. In other words, it doesn't.
Yeah.
It's irrelevant. It's in other words, the code feels like it should work, but it's not, which indicates maybe there's an inconsistency between this and this. I don't know. I guess we're gonna have to send some data out. So let's do this.
Doesn't our existing code presume that R1 is the lowest?
I don't think that matters either. Yeah, it does presume that R1 is the lowest, but it doesn't. It also shouldn't matter because if R2 is the lowest, this will be a negative number, and which will subtract from the higher number, right? So it should.
That's true.
There's nothing that strikes me about what I'm looking at that indicates that there's a problem, which makes me suspect there's a problem in the inconsistency between the numbers returned from here and the numbers passed in there. That's kind of what I'm thinking, but I think we're gonna have to send out some data here. All right, so let's do this. It's gonna be R1. This is going to be R2. Okay, this is, hold on, let me, I wonder if my devs have this. Sorry, this is not R1. This is G1 right here. Yeah, look at that. We reported this yesterday, and I'm like, do I report it a second time, or do I just...
Come up a couple of times recently.
Yeah. Oh, you know what I think it is? I think it's IntelliSense or whatever is showing up instead. So anytime in B1, if this is up and I hit enter, see what happens?
Yeah.
But if it's not up, I think I'm about to report it because if it's not, if I hit escape and hit enter, it works. That's the issue. All right, I got to report this.
There you go.
So at least the devs know about this. Okay, guys, I reported something like this yesterday, and I just want to show it to you. If I create this code here and I type in B1, if I hit enter now with IntelliSense up, watch what happens. CodeRush or Visual Studio, somebody's adding an extra enter in here into the middle of our field. Okay, if I undo that, take it back, and do it one more time, type in B1 right here, and I hit escape, and then I hit enter, everything works the way it should. So it looks like Visual Studio's IntelliSense is interfering. Let's get rid of IntelliSense for a second and turn on IntelliRush and see what goes on here. Let's go do that. Type in B1, IntelliRush is up, I hit enter. Still, we have the same problem. So regardless of whether it's IntelliSense or IntelliRush, when enter occurs there, we add an extra line in the field. We should absolutely not do that. Prevent against that. Okay. Let's mark that. IntelliSense and IntelliRush both interfere with fields when enter is pressed. Okay. Roy, do me a favor, make sure that email gets out.
Will do.
I had a thought earlier today that I was like, are all the emails getting out? I want to make sure they are. Okay. So there's our first RGB. So we're going to say HSL1 as RGB. It's equal to this. We're going to do the same over here with HSL2. Well, you know what? Let's do this. Thank you, CodeRush. Much faster. All right, so there's our HSL2. Then we'll come down here and we'll say blended result. Blended at, what is it, percent to blend times 100%. Is equal to, and this is going to be red, green, and blue.
Is that what it is? Percent to blend is going to be a whole number. Literally the number 100. If you multiply it by 100, it's going to be a very large number.
No, I changed
Whereas
this. I
point
changed
something?
Percent to blend is a number between 0 and 1.
Okay.
Maybe I'll call it blend amount. How's that sound to you? You like that?
Sure. Yeah.
Blend amount. There you go. So now that's going to be correct right there. Okay, and then let's see how good or bad that is. We're going to need a browser to get some of those messages. Okay, there's the refresh. Let's take a look at what we got. Console, let's switch the main page. Here's the data.
Okay. They are very small values.
They're all HSL is RGB.
So we've got 0.8 red, 0.14 green, and 0 blue.
Okay, so RGB is coming back as a percentage. They're coming back as percentages.
But again, if that is correct within the context of this, then handing it those percentages back afterwards for reconstitution should also be okay.
Look at this.
Oh.
So there is an inconsistency between the two. And I'm calling it, wait, I'm calling it.
We've not run into this before.
Yeah, I'm calling it once from here in the from hex call in HughesSit Lite. So it's expecting that. So I think what I got to do is take this whole thing and multiply each one of these by 256. Why am I divided by 255? Seems like that's a bug as well. Like, what was I thinking here?
.256 would be the next power of 2. It's not available.
It is right. It is right. It is right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the highest it could be is that. Okay, so we're going to multiply this by 255.
This feels like I mean, it's good for an experimental change, but it feels like we're accounting for something that is flawed in our framework and should be fixed in the framework.
Rory has no tolerance for my crap. All right, so let's...
I mean, don't get me wrong, it might be affecting other parts of our system in a negative way, which we have accounted for elsewhere.
Yeah, I'm just kind of considering the way to solve this. Let's rename this.
Nice. Yes.
I'm going to call this RGB 250 RGB bytes. Like this. Come on. Okay. And then I'm going to create another one called from RGB, which is just going to be...
it's going to call this with the adjustment.
Yeah. Don't worry, I'm going to dry this here in a second here. So this is going to be from RGB. That's going to be like that. And then this down here is going to call return from RGB after it's conditioned it. So then we're going to say, looks like all of this is part of that method. Okay, so we're going to say return this dot from RGB, red, green, blue. How do you feel about that as a fix?
That feels good, yeah.
Okay, so now I've got from RGB bytes in here, and I'm going to change that to just this. Okay, better?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, let's refresh that.
Looking for some nice blue health, or just invisi health with none at all. There we go.
Okay, there's some
good
blue health. Let's apply some damage.
Yep. Looking for a more. There we go. That's a more reasonable color change.
I love it.
Yeah. Very nice.
It's really nice. Yeah, I'm into it. I'm totally into it. Okay. We're going to kill this. Yeah, interesting, isn't it? That do a blending, if I want to blend colors, it actually works better to blend RGB than it does HSL.
Yeah. And I guess it's because our human expectation of what a blend from one color to another actually does match the RGB kind of notion of storing that data.
Right. Yeah, in terms of relative intensities of each one of those.
Yeah.
Kind of interesting because I've always thought HSL is what we should be using as programmers, but this blend is the first example that I was like, where it's provided evidence on the other direction. Coding Gorilla says, I hate color theory. Okay, now we're going to scrolls. We're going to the scroll page. I don't think I need this up anymore for now. Kill this.
Yeah.
All right. We're out of there. The blend is working. All right. Next, we need to figure out the spell stat page and how that's working. So the spell stat page, the spell page just has 4 stats. The stat for the name. So I'll bring it up using my new buttons on the UI here.
Okay, so how do these correlate to what we can see on screen?
Well, these correlate to the pieces up at the top there. The name, add name, puts the name for little cutie.
Yep.
Add stat, spellcasting ability string is the word wisdom up there.
Okay.
Spell attack bonus string is the +8 up there, the spell attack.
So these are the pieces we'd expect to stay the same no matter which page of the scroll, or sorry, the spell page we'd be looking at.
Right. What's interesting, okay, here we go. There's the return. This should be a type. Let's fix this type, guys. Like, sometimes I wonder, who am I? Right? When I've got this Annie up here. This is like from a long time ago.
This is when we were barely aware of what TypeScript was.
You're right. We've come a long way. This is going to return a string. Just returning anything. That's returning a big fat void. Okay. Okay, then we're pushing this page is on. What I'm trying to figure out is how do we figure out which one of these four is the spell page? I'm wondering if it's its index, because we're always pushing them in this order.
Yeah.
I'm getting sick of the song. I'm looking for a rendering call. Wait, we just cycled all the way through. I didn't spot rendering? How'd I miss it? Let's load resources. Bunch of test stuff.
Is this another thing where we added it to a list of things that are then processed independently?
I'm pretty sure this thing is got the list. Send scroll layer command, focus item, unfocus item, and then we wrapped around. Maybe it's on a list somewhere. It's in its pages.
Coding Gorilla asks, is it in the open call, the .open call?
I think the clue is here. It's in world.add character. We're adding the scroll as a character, which means its rendered method will be called automatically.
Okay.
So that's what I think is going on. So it's got a render method or an update page or something like that. So we want to be looking in here for something called render. I suppose I should just use Code Rush. It's built to do this. Render scroll right here. Draw character stats. What I should do is I should just be in here and type in the word spell.
Yeah.
All right, let's do this. Since there's so many of these, let's look only in this file. No tab to next reference on draw spell group, meaning it's not called.
Oh.
Is that true? It's called.
No, there it is.
But it's in this for each function, which goes like this, so we can't find it. I think I've got to do this.
Now you don't need to bind to this in the way that you appear to be there.
Looking for the intelligence on it. This arg, yeah, there it is right there. Okay. All right, cool.
There we go.
Draw spell data. Here we go. So now we've got to kind of figure out how to do this. I actually am thinking about this, Roy. I think this is probably not I'm going to finish this in today's show. I think this is a today and tomorrow.
Okay.
That's what I think. We need to figure out internally kind of what page we're on.
Yeah.
We need to also figure out if we have two pages of data or more. We are passing in bottom data, which is the Y position for the bottom of the spell, I think. The bottom of the spell book. So we...
Okay. So we kind of need to figure out a point of overflow data-wise. Because in some cases, there won't be a second page.
Yes, you're absolutely right.
So it's all very well knowing that you're on, should we say, the first set of spells, but unless there's going to be a second set, we can't really try to provide that.
So draw spell group title. This is what I believe is drawing the first, second, third, and fourth.
Mm-hmm.
Title width is in the spell group name. Spell group's got a name, total charges, charges used, spell data items. So we're in the right place. This charges are what you're seeing across there. So for little cutie, if I start modifying those there, you can see them being modified right there.
Yeah.
So those are charges. Okay, so we got some spell groups. Spell groups. Spell data. So I'll get a couple ideas. Let's kind of come over here and start thinking about these ideas. Multiple pages. One idea. Store the pre-calculate where each spell group will go.
Yep.
And store that page in the spell group.
Yes. So each spell group will point to the index or some similar thing of the page on which it is supposed to occupy.
Yeah, and then that way things get real easy when it comes time to drawing.
I think you meant will go rather than with go, by the way. There we are.
We still need an active spell page num field somewhere, so we know where we are, so that we can total spell pages fields, numeric fields somewhere. So if this is more than 2 or more than 1, and we get that command coming in, then we're going to increment this.
We know effectively how many we can go up to, and then once we're on the second page, we'll know if it's the maximum one, and therefore maybe if we do it again, we'll go cycle back to the first.
Yes. Yeah. So that's exactly what I want to do. So we can cycle. We also need to support selecting a particular page by either the spell page num or by a spell that is on that page. So if I passed in like bless or bane as a parameter, it would figure out what page it's on, which lends support for this architecture.
Yeah.
Because I can just simply go through all the spell groups and see which one it is.
That's right. Get page by spell kind of thing.
Yeah. The other thing that I can do too is I can simply just not show. So here her 4th level spells end on the bottom. But if they were partially there, I could just simply say we're not even going to show part of them on this page.
The 4th set would either be here, because we had already calculated that they could be, or they would be moved in their entirety to the next page.
That's what I'm thinking. Okay? Yeah. Now, calculating this, I think, is not going to be too hard. To calculate the overall height of this, it's not too hard. But I'm doing it in a different place than where I am drawing. So I think we want to take our drawing code, consolidate it, just pull out the measuring code that's the drawing code is using, and then call that from both places. So that
isn't the measuring code working on the basis of having a canvas, though?
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, okay. That part's tricky. So we may have to get a canvas to do this, although in the past I've created a canvas and it just kind of works.
Okay.
So, because you can create a canvas to do these kind of tests. So this is feeling good to me. This approach. I am gonna just go with this now. All right. So next we got to say, figure out what's going on. Here's where we're creating the spell group. The spell group, I think, copy spell data from. So it looks to me here, let's fix this one too. It looks to me like these are in the right order. That the data sent down, like if we come back in and look at it again, the data sent down does because there's no sorting code here. There's no check to see what level it's at. So flat out, these are coming down in the right order. So we know what we can do is we can kind of monitor this and figure out which page it's on. So I guess my proposal is this. I start out with spell page num here. We're going to set that equal to 0. And we start with that. We're going to need to calculate the height of this. Let me go. I want to just go look at the drawing code that uses the spell group in it. Okay, we're going to need to pull this out. By the way, I watched WandaVision on Disney Channel with the kids.
Oh, yes.
It's pretty good.
Have you watched through all of them?
We have.
I think I've just also caught up with that. Are you a general follower of the Marvel Cinematic Universe?
Wait, what did you say? A general lover of it? Is that what you said?
The follower.
Follower?
Fan, yeah.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is suggested that this is what's leading into the next big film.
Oh, cool.
Or at least part of it. The sequel to the Doctor Strange film.
I can't wait.
So
I think in
interested to
general,
see what happens.
The films tend to be exciting, and the special effects are good, and the writing tends to be good too. Okay. Let's go look at draw spell item. So we've got this right here. We've got the title, spell group title.
Yeah.
Group title height.
It's interesting. We don't seem to be. Oh no, there's a measure. Sorry, I didn't get that. Although we're measuring width, I don't think we're measuring height at all.
We don't have to because we know the font size.
Right, but it's only height we're interested in terms of does something carry on to a second page?
Yes, you're right, but I need the height of the parts. So I need the height of the spell group title, which kind of means I got to take this and take it out as well.
Yes.
What's interesting is it returns this, which is really not needed to be returned at all. I don't know why. Am I using the return result of this thing at all? I am.
We're incrementing our start point for following items. That's what it is.
Yeah. Oops. Do I have the / working here? I do not. Okay, so it's character, stat, stroll. Sorry, Rory, can you repeat what you just said? Do you remember what you just said a second ago? I was like, I think I didn't get it.
I'm not sure.
Something about point height or something like that is what I thought it was. Since we're returning this, I'm going to just change this. I kind of call this a little bit of a flaw. I'm only calling it from one place. So I'm going to change this to a void. And then we're going to come down here. We're going to do that instead. And we're going to do that. Okay? The spell background. This is what impacts the Y right here. So here, wait, I thought Y would be modified. Oh, I know why, because we're drawing the spell background. We don't need that yet. It's here. Draw spell item. Okay, so Y is equal to the right spot here, and then we go into draw spell item, and then we get out of intergroup spacing, which is 12.
So each draw item is effectively past Y, and many of them certainly have been modifying Y on the basis of what they themselves have added.
Yes, that's what draw spell item does. So we got to go look in there. I think it's going to be pretty simple though. It's probably going to be another constant.
Yeah. Which ultimately is multiplied by the number of things before reaching through.
Yes. Spell font name height. Let's see what happens to Y. Y is only incremented by that. Right? There, there. It's only assigned here. So it's spell font name height is one of the pieces. Looks like I'm missing a semicolon there. Let's fix that. Okay. So basically, the math looks like it's these three constants plus this times item dot spelled item data items dot count length. Like that. That's what I think it is. Okay. So now let's go find out where we were. Here is where we were. I'm going to add a new property in here. That height is equal. easy. Spell data dot spell data items. That's what it is, right there. Plus, I'm just using Alt-Shift-Home to go between markers, so I can grab the pieces I need, paste them in. I don't need the intergroup spacing at the end. I contend. I'm just going to hold its height, and that's all I'm going to hold. So that's all I'm going to store in this variable called height.
Okay.
So title height, below title spacing, plus that spell name font height. I think that's all I need for the height. I still don't think it's enough to tell me whether it's on this page or not, right? But I need to, you know, track.
No, we're now going to have this information available to us as we iterate through spell groups.
Yeah.
And if we had some absolute fact about the available space on a scroll after those first 4 facts, then we can begin to reason about whether a given spell group will fit.
Yeah. So I still need to use intergroup spacing at some point while I'm calculating things. Let's declare this. All of these are public, but they're by default public, I think. So I don't need those to be all saying public there. Okay, so there's the height of it. And actually, I'm wondering, do I really need that? I was kind of thinking I'd stored it, but I really ultimately just need its page number. That's what I need. I think I'm making it a little too complex. I don't need to do that. I'm just going to do this instead.
Something needs its height, and then on the basis of its height, we'll determine the page number.
Yeah.
So once you've decided the page number, yeah, you don't need it anymore.
Okay, so there's my spell group height. We need a and we need to say if y top plus spell group height is less than our available space, then we're going to say spell group dot page num is equal to spell page num. Let's declare this. Somewhere in here I've got available space. I believe. I've got this defined somewhere already. I can go measure it, but I kind of want to look back
That's
at
just for any given scroll.
I want to look at draw, scroll, draw spell. Here. So y is equal to that. And then what are we doing to check to see that the bottom is not available? Are we ever doing it? Maybe we're not.
Maybe.
Okay, so if we're not, I'm gonna assume we're not actually. Let's go open up spell page.
And Surly Dev is in the house. Not insofar as to cause his introduction, but his drones have come to say hi.
Isn't that cool? How you doing, Surly? Oh, dishwasher settings. Sir, what you use Visual Studio for coding? TS? Or Visual Studio Code better? Not for me, because I've got Code Rush installed inside of Visual Studio, which allows me to use templates and things like that to write code faster. So that's what's going on there. This was Rev. Okay, so what do we have? We're going to start here. We're starting at 179. So let's go find 179. 179 is there. Okay. Let's go to about the same on the bottom. I'm going to take it all the way down to here. And I get to 833.
Okay.
So I get to 833. All right, let's mark it. Okay, so we've got the spell data bottom now. So if Y top, the spell group height is less than available space. Available space, well, I don't need that anymore. Let's just pause for a second and watch these drones fly.
Well, as it happens, I need to take a slightly longer pause. Something in the realms of 22.5 hours.
Awesome
All right. Go take a break, Rory.
Alright, bud. I will be back in approximately 22.5 hours.
All right.
Join you tomorrow.
Rory's taking a break.
Have a good one. See you then.
It's the Rory party music. Rory's out of the town, off the show. All right, so there's the bottom. So if that's the case, if it's less than it, then we're still good. And we're going to say Y top plus equals the spacing. Like that. Otherwise, we have a different situation. We want to say Y top's back up over here. Spelled page num is incrementing. Move this down over here. And then we set the page num to that new page num. I feel like that's the code to calculate what page number we're on. Wait, did I miss something? I'm never actually adding the height. I almost think it's a plus equals here. All right, that'll tell me what page number it's on. Now that I know the page number, I want to go put that out. I want to look at some data to see if we can actually see it, to see if this is working. So in the title, when we fill text, I'm going to do it here. Like that. I'm doing fine, Surly Dev. Glad you're doing good too. By the way, Surly, I've been intermittent fasting for about 2.5 weeks now, and I'm loving it. I've reduced the amount of hours in which I eat to 8 during the day. And so every day I eat within an 8-hour window, and I'm really really liking it. Mental effects are great. Health effects seem to be great as well. So I'm like yesterday I was talking to Karen and I said something effective. Yeah, I feel like I can do anything. Just tell me what it is, the thing I have to do, right? I just, it's like I can do anything, but I'm also like, anxiety is pretty low. Normally I have a fair amount of anxiety over what hasn't been implemented that I need to go, or what hasn't been done that I need to go do. You're fasting now until Thursday. All right, cool, Surly Dev. Surly Dev, cool. Okay, so now we should see that page number in there. Let's do a refresh, see how that works. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's absolutely wrong. That's absolutely wrong. How did we get that so wrong? It's amazing how food or lack of affects your mental acuity. Yeah, I think you're right. Could our height be really, really wrong? Because I can see the numbers behind the other pieces there. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And let's make sure I'm actually putting the right information out, the page number. Yeah. All right, I think I'm gonna have to send some data out. Start with that one. Get the browser up. Just go to my Stream Deck so I can get some faster edit compile cycle times. Put that right there. Okay. Spell group height is not a number. What do you want to bet it's this? Spell name font height, which I can't tab to Nick's reference on, but I'm not seeing an error on it. What's going on there? Cannot rename this element. What? This could be part of the problem. Okay. Let's refresh that. This looks better. We just got a problem with the titles being drawn over by the other pieces. I think it's this. Is this drawing the charges? Nope. Is it just in title itself? Charge boxes, there it is right there. Okay. Okay, I see the problem. Let's do this. We can solve it like this. Like that. Okay, let's refresh it. Feeling we can now refresh the main one. We're going to get something closer. Okay, still. What's going on over here? Same problem or no? Yeah, still, it's still not a number. Oh, doesn't exist on character. Okay, at least we got an error there. Good. Where is the spell name font height declared? Where is that? On character stats, scroll. What was I using this on that before? Oh, I see. Is it ever assigned? It's never assigned at all. It's missing the word static in front of it. Okay, that's better. Let's go. I think I should do a global search for this thing. Okay, getting there slowly. There we go. That's what I wanted to see. So down near the bottom for fifth, you can see it's on page 1 instead of page 0. So that's good news. That's good news. Okay. All right, next I need a sense of what page we're on. What page number are we on? So this is in character. I think I'm going to store it here as a field of character. So it's spell page name, spell page number is equal to, I think I'm going to set it to 0 like this. All right, cool. The spell data from comes in here. I don't need the binding call, the binding parameter at the end. Then the last thing I want to do is I want to modify source character. Wait, hold on. No, I don't. I want to say this. At the very end, I want to say this dot total spell pages is equal to whatever the spell page number is. That's what I want to do. And we are going to make sure we're hitting the spell data from there. Yeah. I'm going to say this dot total spell pages is equal to spell page num. All right. So now we have that done. What do we end up calling that? Spell page num. What I think I want to do. Okay, so we got this one done as well. Okay, next. Need to go to where we draw. Enjoying the bot show, Sterling. All right. Spell data. Additional data. We've got the active character we're passing in. Spell data. Cool. Draw spell group. At this point, I want to pass in what group to be showing. It goes like this. If item dot page num equals active character dot spell page active spell page num, then we can drop. So this change alone should get it so that we only see the spells up to the end of the page being shown. And that's the case. So cool. So we don't see anything below the fourth level right there. Or anything following that. Okay, good. Next, we need to be able to hit the spell page a second time to get to the next page. I'm not sure how we're going to do that. Are we going to... That's in maybe a different place. Let's go look up here in the D&D app and see what's happening here. It's called change scroll page. It's called clear data change. And here we're checking to see if the active page is not equal to page, which means if I set a breakpoint here, I probably won't hit it when I hit the spells button again. Yeah. I think this consolidation, let's just double check that this is getting hit. Yeah, so we're getting there. This is, I think, maybe wrong. Let's do this. Okay, so now I'm calling player data changed again. The second time, so now we need to go track that down here. So we're looking for player data changed. Down to TypeScript. This looks promising. There's actually a player data changed here in character stat scroll. Is that called from Dragon Back Game? Sweet. All right, I've got some console logs. Let's do this, this. Just kind of get ourselves a reference in terms of what's happening inside here. We'll save all this. Let's switch over here, refresh. All right, and let's do it. Okay, now I'm going to hit the button again, the spells button. Data change, but no update. So right here. So I think we need like another else if kind of combo in here. It says, hey, if the page is equal to the new page ID and what happened up here? It's because of this right here. Okay, got it. All right. So if this is the case, and the active page and it's equal to spells, then we're going to say toggle cycle through spell pages. Like that. All right, let's save that. Refresh. There it is. I'm gonna hit it again. Cycle through spell pages. Sweet. Sweet. Okay, good. Let's do that next. It's a character stat scroll, isn't it? Go in here and see what's going on. I'm in character stat scroll, is that right? Oh, it's in the active. Hold on. total spell pages is greater than 1. Then we're going to say active spell page number plus plus. Then we're going to say if active spell page number is greater than or equal to the total. Then we're going to set the active page number back to 0. There's our cycling. Is that going to be enough? Let's throw that out. See if we can get that number to increment. See what happens. It's not incrementing. Get this wrong. Refresh. Total spell pages is only 1. Well, that's wrong. Yeah, I think I got it wrong. I think this is my problem. 0 and 1. So this is going to be a +1 right here. Okay. Refresh out here. There's 1 and a second hit. Hey! And then again. Nice. Okay, that's not bad. It's not closing and then reopening. It's not bad though. Let's do a couple things because I think we've got some other fundamental problems here that we've just introduced. One of them is when we cast a spell, it gets highlighted in here. What happens with the highlighting if we switch? Including there's an animation for concentration. So let's fix the titles since that seems to be working. Let's try that. Yeah, it doesn't have the scrolling thing, but I'm thinking the need for this is so little. I'm going to deprioritize that, so we're not going to actually do the scrolling for now. We'll just be able to hit it to cycle through to see those pieces. All right, let's test it out. So let's cast Bless. So Sandra is going to cast Bless. And now let's see. We need to refresh it here. Let's refresh it here locally. Oh, it actually works. That's awesome. So here you can see the indicator that Bless is being concentrated on, and if I switch to the other page, it's completely gone. So that's awesome. That's much better than it was. The text is too high, too close to the top. Ooh, also there's a bug. We just dispelled and that thing is still going. If I switch pages and switch back, it's still going. That's a problem. Okay, so let's document that bug. Okay. We need to do this too, right here. We need you to be able to select the page number by the spell name that's accurate. I think there's already a place to do this. Copy spell data from. We set the active page number here. But I think I want to do something to the effect of, let's move this down to the end of all of this. I want to say something to the effect of, if this dot active, shoot. I've got active spell. Is that the one I want? If active spelled, I think. Let's just first see if this is what we want. Okay, I'm going to come back over here, refresh it. Okay, so we're going to say Merkin spell page. Sending all that player data out. I don't think we need that anymore, but okay, let's hit spell page again. Okay, let's cast telekinesis and see what happens. Do we get any data that comes down? So hold person, it's right up there, second level. I'm actually looking for higher level spell for her. It's on the next page. I need like raised dead or flame strike. Let's do one of those right there. Flame strike. Get out to spell flame strike. I did. Wait, hold on. Yeah, there it is right there. Okay, so here's where I need to figure out what page I'm on. Right around that space. There. All right, let's close this thing. So I am getting something active here, and what class are we in now? Character. Okay, so actually I'm not going to mess with character right now. Copy attributes from update player data. And now I think we're in character stat scroll, is that right? Yep, yeah. Okay, so here we've got an active spell. Get that guy out of the way. Where's spell page? I forget. I thought it was in character stat scroll. It's in character. Okay. So character. Active spell page num is equal to this dot get. Do we have the spell stuff in here? Spell groups. We must, because we got draw spell group. Let's go look in there. Spell group. Spell data. It's right there. Okay, so we're going to say, call this get spell page. Spell, and we're going to pass in the active spell probably dot name like that, I think. Where's my pudding dance? I'm sure where your pudding dance is. Okay, so just going to return spell group. I think that's it right there.
Pilot crash!
Surly went to the wrong chat room. Surly. Come on, Surly. Flame Creations. It's been a while. How you doing, Flame Creations? Welcome. So we throw out the spell group, and then we're going to say return spell group dot page num. See if that works. So we'll refresh. Okay, so looks like let's cast Mass Cure Wounds and see if we get the page changed to the right page. So Mass Cure Wounds. Let's see, Sandra spells. Mass Cure Wounds and cast. Yeah, actually, even before I cast it, we should have shown it on the right page. I was hoping to do that. All right, let's go look over here and see what's going on here with those changes. See if we can see in the console. I just woke up. Okay, so let's see what's going on. We're going to go back into Sandra. No, actually. So Flame Strike is kind of what I want to throw. I want to go hit the Flame Strike button, and I want to make sure I get out to that page and have that page highlighted. Let's switch to the ladies page instead. Now we're going to go to Sandra. Go to Flame Strike. What do we got? A lot of data here. Those pages. Active page. That looks kind of right. The page number should be page number 1. This is in our cycle code right here. Flame Strike again. So this looks right, but it feels like it's right too late, is what it looks like. Yeah, it's as if it's coming in twice because the page ID is the same as the other one. What if we have a situation where it works in some states but not others? What if we were to bring up a weapons page, a thread, and then we were go back to the Sonder and bring up our plane strike? There. That's so right. Unfortunately, I'm not sure if this code executed or not at this point. It feels like it should not. The fact that we're in here, though, is indicative that this is coming in twice. Look at this. Yeah, it's sending a lot of data out. Okay, sorry, I'll close that down. Alright. So this here on line 869 is Kirkstat scrolls. I'm going to get rid of that. It's sending out too much data right now. I think I'm going to get... Let's add that in there. All right, let me get back to where we were before. Let's see if it's going to assist. Holy cow. You mean greater than or equal on the increment line? Is it on the page right now, Coding Gorilla? I think it's. I think I know what you're talking about. It's back in the down near here. Here. This I think is the line you're talking about right here. 906 Kirkstat scroll. Right here. This is just, if you're curious about this, I'm just asking to see if my total page count is greater than 1. So I want to see if it's plural. So this code's all working here. This is not my problem space right now. My problem space right now is I want to select the spell by name, and I just kind of not remembering where that was and kind of finding my way back to it. See if I can find my way back to it. Let's see if we can get our way back. Just hitting Control Dash. Hit spell page for spell. Update player data. Well, I kind of want to be able to say what this is. I'll make sure that this is super obvious, like that. All right, Surly, oh, hold on, line 907. Look at that code. (907). So here, if you're on page 202, you're going to go back to page 0. Yeah, it's page 102 is what it is. It's the index. So if it's greater than or equal to the total spell pages, in other words, if we've gone around, if we're equal to it, we're now going to be, we need to wrap around. So this code's working. This is actually working based on what our tests are. So this is all correct, even though that, I guess maybe if anything, it's hard to read because it's kind of not necessarily obvious that my total count is different from my indexing. My page numbers go 0, 1. Maybe I should rename this to page index. Like just spell page index, and that'll make you happier. You'll be like, oh yeah, that's much better. Okay. All right, let's see if we can get back to where we were before. Where was I? It's almost time to end the show. There, I was here. I wanted to see if this data came out. All right. So with that, let's go bring up a spell for Judy, and then let's bring up a spell for Sandra, Flame Strike. Actually, spell page number 0. That's not what I was expecting it to be. I was expecting it to be a 1. Let's go send out our spell data and see what's going on there. Added this log line right there to it. Refresh. And let's go back to little cutie spells, call lightning. Back to Sandra, spells, flame strike. This is spell group. You know it's over here. Spell data item. What am I doing? Am I comparing the name property? Yeah, I'm kind of, this is my problem. The spell group right here. I kind of need to do, let me close this down so you can see what I'm talking about here. And within each spell group, spell data items yeah, I think I want to do this. I want to do some I want to come out here I want to create a local method to do this. Get spell. Well, we're already in it, aren't we? Yeah, I'm going to just do it here. All right. Do a couple for eaches right here. Pour this in. And then we're going to say, here's the spell data of I. Then we're going to say, this is going to be another iterator like J. Here's what we're going to check to see is the name matching. Then we're going to say return a spell group dot page jump. Otherwise, we're going to return 0 to get down to here. Bring up the spell. Bring up flame stroke. Where I want it to be. I found the spell. Active page numbers equal to 1. Oh no, wait! It did work. Okay, you just can't see it. Let me move it over here. It looks like it did. No, that's not right. It's there. It's right there. It looks like it did get to page 2. Let's try bless. And looks like it switched back to the page where bless is on. Go back to flame strike. There it is right there. Cool. So once again, bless. Nice. Flame strike. Good. It shows the page to the front, which is what we want. All right. That's excellent. 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 Okay. We'll close everything down. That's a show, kid. Thanks for watching. Let's get a raid going. So many good folks out here. Oh, Bother, the Builder. I'm going to send you over to Chill Codes. Should be in good hands. Thanks for the sound alerts over there. Hey, listen. Thanks, Pudding. which is tomorrow.